Good afternoon, I'm Jeff. I'm a sewer tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 808 Crestview Drive here in Newburgh. We're located at the front of the home. We're off to the left of the driveway area. We have a 3-inch cast iron pipe here, or clean out, as our point of access. I'm going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We currently have water running. We're using the hose instead of the sink because it's a lot easier to control from out here than having to run inside. So anyway, here we go. Transitions here over to 4-inch concrete pipe. We'll go a little further here. We may have transite concrete. And there's one big turn there right off the bat. We should have joints here about every 10 feet, which we are here. This does look like transite. It has an asbestos content to it instead of aggregate rock, and as such it actually holds up much, much longer than standard aggregate concrete. You can see how smooth it looks. Regular concrete at this age would be showing a bunch of rock through, so it's a superior product. You got joints every 10 feet instead of every 2 or 3 feet. That's a lot harder for roots to get in. Okay, so right here at 65 feet, this looks like the terminus of the line. I'm going to do locates to verify where this is at exactly. Right here, just before that Y connection there, it does appear that we have, it looks like a root that's come through the joint there. It's hard to tell. It could be some other object, but that does look a lot like a root. It's just very dark, black and gunked up, and you can't really see any individual root hairs. I'll go locate where this is at and see where it's at. That's obviously not affecting the flow at this time. If it is roots, sometimes they can grow and get larger and become an issue. But whatever is there currently, and it's a hard one to verify. You can sometimes get worms that will actually come through pipe joints. That could actually be a piece of rubber that's peeled off of the joint, the seal there, and is just dangling down. It's very dark in color, which is not indicative of roots, and I'm not seeing root hairs per se, like you normally do, but it's anyway a hard one to verify just because it's in such a dark, gunked up area. Alright, located this particular spot here. The line actually, it comes out basically the front left corner of the house and then goes across the entire property all the way to the far right side of the fence line. It actually goes underneath, or goes through the fence line into the neighbor's yard, and that's where this Y connection is at right here. So it looks like we may have some kind of easement. It could be I'm not exactly sure why it's going that direction instead of out to the street. I would look into that, just pull records and find out the reason. You know, it may have a reason in there. At least see how responsibility is divvied up in this situation. So generally, your line just goes straight out to the road. When it crosses over onto the neighbor's property, it's worth knowing where your responsibility actually starts and stops at, because it can be sometimes quite different. Anyway, this is only about 5 or 6 feet away from a pretty large tree, which is well within range of roots getting to it. So the likelihood that is a root coming through there has gone up quite a bit because of that reason. Alright, we've turned the water back on. I'm going to try and shove the camera out further. This is still not out to the street. We may not be able to get all the way out. We'll try here. This joint here looks like it's hard to tell what we've got going on there. So a lot of these joints have a rubber seal around them. And I can't tell if that's rubber seal that's come in there or exactly what that is. Yeah, in that spot there I don't see roots sticking out. Alrighty, here at 93 feet, this is actually where we have hit the main. And it remains the transite concrete all the way out, looks like. And we're going to now let the line drain out here. It looks like the line's functioning really nicely. It's very clean throughout and drains out nicely, so that part's good. But in a situation like this where we may have one or possibly two root intrusions to deal with, and the fact that it's going over, I'm picking up the locator on the other side of the neighbor's side of the fence. And again, this is the house to the right of this home. It got to contact the city and find out how responsibility is divvied up, because it's hard to say whose responsibility any of this stuff is if a line is shared. So it may be a city responsibility or something like that over near the fence line. We're going to give this thing a few minutes to drain out. I'm going to go just locate to verify we're in the street. I did locate the camera head successfully out the main lateral on Crestview Drive. So again, and when you look at the diagram on the report, it'll make a little bit more sense. But again, the line crosses from the left side of the property all the way over to the right side, goes through the fence line where it Y connects onto a line there, and then from that point goes straight out to the street. So I don't know who the line is being shared with. It's probably a configuration the city is fine with. It's just worth finding out how responsibility is divvied up here. It looks like you may have a root intrusion to get repaired. It doesn't necessarily need to happen right at this moment. Obviously, none of the issues we've seen here, possible issues anyway, are affecting the flow. The line's working great. This is that spot I was talking about earlier. Again, there's a little bit of gunk there, but I don't see any roots protruding from that. All these joints with transite have a rubber seal, and sometimes those can bulge through there. So it might be a combination of rubber seal bulging through and just some sewer gunk that's stuck to it. But I don't see any root strands coming out of that. Doesn't mean that there couldn't be something there. There's just nothing to go off of it. They're being hidden. You can't really confirm whether it's roots or not. Anyway, here's our Y connection. This is just beyond the fence. And then this spot right here, this is obviously a root strand looking item. Again, it's also kind of gunked up with stuff. Not really obvious what's going on here. It looks like a root strand that's been covered up by just gunk from over the years. But it's hard to say. We've got a rubber seal there that can kind of peel off and kind of bolts through the line. So this is one of those that I don't want to just recommend a repair on it right away, because it's a hard one to confirm. What you can do in situations like this is monitor it, do a rescope. I know that's kind of annoying because you want to know what it is right now. There's just enough stuff over the top of it that we can't really confirm if that's a root or not. You don't want to go digging up the yard for nothing. Now, in a situation like this, I recommend rescoping in 1 or 2 years to see if anything has changed there or is growing. You can also do a hydrojet on the line, which will clean all that out and cut whatever that is out of there, and then you can rescope and see if anything anything has grown back in its place. At this time, though, we can't really confirm if that's a root or not. I located the camera head and put a paint marking down. This is just before where the line crosses over the fence. And it does it about at the front right corner of the fence, about a few feet back from that. The line it travels just about underneath the root system of that tree, which always makes me nervous when a tree's that close. Again, it's very close in the vicinity of the tree. Like I said, this one is just not... It could be a root, it might not be. There's just so much that it's also jet black, just like the rubber gasket is that goes inside that joint there. That's why it's so hard to discern what this is. So I do recommend doing a rescope in 1 to 2 years to see if anything has changed. Unfortunately, that's really the only other than maybe doing a hydrojet and cutting whatever is there out, and then rescoping in a year to see if something's grown back in its place. Either way, the only way you're really going to be able to confirm whether it's roots or not is to watch it. You could make I think it's kind of a hasty decision to just go ahead and dig that up, just given the fact that it's a little strandy item. Again, it looks sort of like a root that way, but the color of it and everything it's a tough one. Anyway, as far as flow goes, we have great flow all the way out to the main lateral, or both to the Y connection there and to the main in the street. Again, I would contact the city and find out how the responsibility of the line is divvied up, whether it ends at the Y connection there or all the way out the street, because it does eventually share with another house. So anyway, it's worth knowing that, and it's worth knowing that too. If this does actually develop into a full-blown root intrusion here, it's worth knowing whose responsibility that is. So at this time, in my opinion, I do not think it's worth just digging that up and repairing it. It's just too hard to tell. There are a lot of items that can get kind of caught in joints and stuff that kind of mimic what a root looks like, so you kind of have to go on the color and just how much it looks like a root. Its vicinity to the tree, though, is the one thing that makes it a bit more likely. So I hate to be a little wishy-washy on what that is. It's just too difficult to confirm. Anyway, we've got good flow all the way out. Apart from that possible root intrusion there, the rest of the line is in good condition and functioning properly at this time. I'm looking at this joint here right as the camera rounds the bend. It looks like it's just a cobweb there with a bunch of goop, little droplets. We don't get the best view of it, but in between those droplets there, the strand is way too thin to be a root. That's a cobweb there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and reel the camera out. Definitely want to avoid putting things like that. Looks like a paper towel there down the line. Try not to put those down. They really get hung up easily. Anyway, we've got good flow all the way out to the Y and to the main, all said and done. The sewer line is functioning properly at this time. That one spot there at about 64 feet out, right before the Y connection, we have a possible root intrusion there. At this time, there's not enough evidence to show that it's a root, in my opinion, to do a repair on it. So I would recommend a rescope in 1 to 2 years to see if anything has changed there. It's really the only way you'll be able to confirm it. To go ahead and spend thousands and thousands of dollars digging all that up, in my opinion, is just not worth it until you know it's a root. And to kind of give an idea here, so this is the front left corner of the house. Right behind us is the street. Here's our clean out. The line comes out here and turns and heads straight over there across the driveway, and then it crosses over. You can see where that big tree is there. Kind of looks like it's just in front of the bumper of my car. That line goes almost underneath that thing, but where the possible root is at is actually beyond that, quite by 8 to 10 feet or so. So anyway, it heads over that direction, Y's onto the pipe, and then heads out into the street.